Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Western Bulldogs versus Collingwood game, going through the Bontempelli versus Nick DAICOS battle and how it really didn't end up amounting to anything, as I think it probably only had about 5% people take either of their scores, as you had Dawson and other people go absolutely nuts, and yeah, so a lot of people went for them over Bont and DAICOS. And as we said in the last video, Goulden also went nuts as well, so you would have taken his score over Bont and Nick DAICOS. So before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and hopefully it will be coming after this week. It should be a lot better in terms of timing, and then also it should be you should see some stuff on the channel that is new, and hopefully that'll help the channel grow, as not uploading in a couple of days has slowed it down, but hopefully it can pick right back up, as I sort of will upload all of these in a couple of days and get them all up and running. So now let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Daniel won 16 and he just rocketed out to 69 at halftime, then got the early handball and tackle, got to 75 and everyone was about 50. And then Bont and Nick DAICOS sort of went nuts. And then, Quaynor also had that really, he was just all round. So we'll touch on him later. But yeah, Caleb Dent definitely looks like an option. I wouldn't say he's there yet, but a 116 from him looks pretty good. But he obviously will dip in. He's dipped in price a little bit, I believe, down to 870 odd. And so I think there are better options, and it was good to see both, for my sake, Treloar, who was on my radar, go 75, and then McRae, who's owned by a lot, also go 93. So for them to go sub 100 was all right in this game. Now we move on to Bont, and he just had a pretty good second half, 62 second half to pick up from a 52 first, and that got him all the way up to a 114, which is just a really good score for him. And he went up to 1.2, I believe, million, so that was really good. If I go over here, go down here, yeah, there we go. Waitman 99, he kicked some goals early, didn't he? He had 2 goals early in the game and got 38, and then kicked one. He ended up with 4 goals 3 or something ridiculous, I think it was, or 4 goals 2, I believe it was. And yeah, he just had, other than if you take out his second and third quarter, he had a 79 point half from the first and the fourth. But obviously you cannot do that. Tim English 94, yeah, done his job again. Yes, Darcy did dominate in the ruck, but English will have those games to dominate in the ruck, and yeah, he just looks a lot better long term than Sean Darcy does. McRae, as we spoke about, 93, just never really got into the game and ended up 93, and will drop in price a little bit, but I still think he's going to be that guy over Darcy Cameron, as Darcy Cameron does look a little bit weak, but I do need to get the rookies off ground because they are massive sub risks at the moment, and Darcy Cameron isn't a sub risk, so his score is going to be better than a Matthew Johnson, who will average 60 odd because he's going to get subbed a couple times. Ugo Hagen 92, he was actually really fun to watch, even though he's a key forward, so not really fantasy relevant, but yeah, he just in that second quarter was sort of ridiculous, was taking every mark that came to him. And after the first quarter that he had with a -3, he ended up with a 92, which is ridiculous for anyone, in let alone a key forward. But I guess key forwards can stack it on very, 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 very quickly, and that's what he did. Liberatore 84, is that? Yeah, 84, so a little bit of a down game for him. Richards, Norton, Treloar, Bailey Dale, Treloar, and Poulter was actually really good, but obviously at that price is a no-go, as he's not showing real upside to get towards that 100 marker, so I think he's just going to be a 70s type guy. West, Duray, Keith Williams, Bazza Smith, 43. So he's going to go down massively. I mean, what is his price now, Smith? His price now is 676. He's got an average of 84. So next year, if he gets a better role, could be absolutely huge. But obviously, I think he will have that mid-forward status next year. So he could be in the conversation if he's gonna average. If we look at Smith again, like look at his last three, he's got 78, 51, 43. I think this could be like Keys was in the middle of the year this year. But at the start of the year, because he's 57 last three, 68 last five. He's just dropping in price, and that could easily go below 80. That could end up at 75 or something like that with 7 games left. If I just quickly do the maths while talking, with 7 games left, if he averages 50, that's 84.5 plus 350 divided by 21. He could go down to a 73 average, and a 73 average would price him around about that 650k, and 650k for Basser Smith, who could have a role change for next year, could be quite ridiculous. But we'll have to wait and see with that. And there was no one else really to talk about from the Western Bulldogs side. Then onto the Collingwood side, Quaynor was just all-round consistent. 22 was his lowest quarter. And yeah, he was just intercepting everything and looked really, really good. So I wouldn't obviously get it. He's sort of a draft guy, but he can have these sort of ridiculous games. Josh DAICOS, a 114, again, showing that he's really, really up there. If I look at this, I did look at him last game in the Swans review, but yeah, he's looked really, really good. I wouldn't get him for that last mid spot, as you have like Steele around that price, and you got Mills a little bit lower, but I think he is up there. As I did go Shearer, that's what I did do. Yeah. Then you have Noble here, who I've actually been really surprised about how well he's doing, and yeah, he's just been on fire and pretty similar to Quaynor if you actually look at it. 36-22, 38-19, 26-30, 32-28, so pretty similar. And yeah, they both just were outrageous. And then Nick DAICOS, and this looked like it was going to be a 150 game, as he was on 101 at 3/4 time, and I just thought he could go nuts in this last quarter and get a 150, but he just didn't get involved. And that's what sucked, because he was probably 10 points away from being a captaincy option. And yes, that probably would have actually thrown out a lot of things, but it could have caused me to lose a little bit more points than I did in the end. I think I lost the equivalent of 25 or something points off my bench because of the Johnson sub. If I put Campbell Chesser on instead of Johnson, it would have got me 25 more points, and that would have been easy with the Orland switch around. So that would have got me more points and would have got me higher up the table, but I didn't lose too many spots from memory. No, I didn't lose too many spots. So yeah. And then you've got... So we went through DAICOS. Jagoe had a decent game, but again, it's one of those games. He's one of those players that's going to go 120 and then go like a 70 or whatever. He's just so inconsistent. Pendlebury 93. There was a point here where he got the record. I think it was here or something, or it was this 10-minute one, and then he just started getting a load of marks and kicks, and he just started to rack it up. I think it might have been here where he ended up with 3 marks in about a minute. And he got 18 points so quickly. But 93 for him. Mitchell, another down week. And this is what I was thinking with Mitchell would happen. I thought he would go on a stretch. And then, yes, he's having a really, really good season. But he's just not fantasy relevant without the... because of the way Collingwood play. If he doesn't get the tackles, he's not going to consistently get the 35-plus disposals. And he doesn't seem to be getting many marks. So he's really hard to get the score that he needs. If we look at Mitchell, as I switch this back to normal, if I look at Mitchell here, 3 and 5, so that was all right. He just struggled with the disposals, and yeah, just struggling to get those big disposal games, or those big tackle games that he needs to get those big points. Crisp, Adams, Elliott, none of these guys really matter too much. And then we come to Darcy Cameron, and I thought he was doing really well. 53 at halftime. I thought he was back basically, and then just decided to not even get a disposal in the third, and then get, what is that, 2 disposals and a mark in the fourth. So he got basically he got no tackles in the second half. He got a 1 mark and a kick and a handball. And if we look at this, it's just really annoying because he was on track here for a huge game, but just then again just struggled, and has now got Fremantle and is struggling, to be honest. So we'll have to look at that for next week, as he's probably going to be that first upgrade guy, as I might even use him and flick around someone else to get them up to another forward, but we'll have to wait and see with that. Lipinski, Johnson, Murphy, Hill, McCreary, Cox again. He did all his work tackling, I'm pretty sure. He ended up with I think only like three or four touches or whatever. He ended up with I think 6 or 7 hit outs or whatever. But he ended up, I think, 0 goals, 3 marks, 3 tackles or something. Here we go. 4 touches, 3 kicks, 1 handball, 3 marks, 3 tackles, 6 hit outs, 3 behinds. So he ended up filling up pretty much all the stat sheets just with such low numbers that he ended up getting a 40. But it was quite funny to see that. And it wasn't like, obviously, that GWS game where he went nuts, but that was just funny to see that. And especially because I'm pretty sure it mostly happened a lot of the disposals at least came in the second half here. Yeah, it was on 10 at halftime, which was quite ridiculous, but ended up 41, which was just quite funny in the end. And then no one else here really to talk about. So that is the review of the Western Bulldogs vs Collingwood game and the VC battle between Bontempelli and Nick DAICOS. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.